is less than is greater than just awakened. The foreign god with a statue-like beauty opened wide eyes. A fierce golden light radiating, he bent over and thrust out a palm, the brilliant sun soul stealer sending a blinding beam straight from his hand. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Each beam chased after Xiaolan like rockets, making the girl flinch and dodge constantly. She turned back in panic and cried out, "How terrifying! Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than." Xiaolan looked at the ground. The smell of burning hit her nose, making her eyes narrow. The flat earth now looked like a honeycomb. Luckily she was small and agile, otherwise being burned would hurt. Is less than is greater than. The foreign god, seeing her evade the strike, roared in rage. "Brat, you can't escape. My brilliant sun soul stealer doesn't just go straight. It weaves a net based on your movement trajectories. Is less than. Is greater than. Is less than is greater than." Before Xiaolan could react, tiny holes in the ground flashed with light. With a whoosh, a cage appeared, trapping Xiaolan inside the brilliant sun heavenly net. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. The girl widened her eyes, curious, and reached closer. Her finger brushed a nearby beam as she said softly, "You're saying that scares me, but I don't get it. Aren't you the one who can't escape? Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than." The foreign god looked at Xiaolan, as if she were mentally deficient, squinting with contempt and sneering. "What nonsense are you talking? Has your head not finished developing? Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than." Fighting a mindless child was a humiliation. Suddenly waves of numbness spread through him. Looking down, he froze as hundreds of blue spots sprang up over his body. He gasped, "What is this? Since when?" Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Watching the lights and seeing his panicked, almost girlish look, Xiaolan regarded him innocently, finger to her lips, and replied frankly, "Just when you arrogantly cast that heavenly net." Is less than is greater than. The blue spots spread like a plague. The pain grew and he lost control, looking at Xiaolan with cruelty. "Brat, you dare toy with me. The brilliant sun heavenly net. Retract, retract, die." Is less than is greater than. The cage tightened rapidly, shrinking smaller and smaller. Seeing this, Xiaolan curled up and her tiny body erupted with blue light, layers of void folding and changing. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Her small form became a streak of blue light, moving so fast it left after images and slipped through the cage's seams. In a naive voice she said, "Sorry. I'm the primal void. Your net can't catch me." Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than, but your divine soul will surely be devoured by us. Bear with it a little. This will end soon. With that, the foreign god collapsed onto the stone in agony, blue spots all over him, pain gnawing at his soul as he screamed, "Ah!" Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. From afar, Xiao Wu watched the fight between Xiaolan and the foreign god with arms crossed. She narrowed her eyes and snorted haughtily. "Unexpectedly, this brat is cunning and vicious in a fight. It looks like I don't need to intervene." Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Glancing at Xiaoju, the outcome was clear. From above, Xiaoju slowly reached out as a spinning sphere descended. The nine deaths barrier, like a sandstorm burying the delicate figure's screams, echoed. Xiao Wu judged Hera nearly dealt with by Xiaoju, so no need for her to act. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Scanning enemies, Xiao Wu's gaze sharpened. These three only defend and don't attack, while Xiaoju fights Hera. She even used the 9 under seals to control Underworld God, War God, and Fire God. I can't let her take all the glory. I must kill at least 1 or 2 more. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Xiao Wu eyed the 3, a strange excitement showing in her blood-red pupils. Underworld God was grievously wounded and dull to fight, but Fire God and War God looked fine. She smirked and dove into the storm, shouting the 9 under oath to part the 9 deaths barrier, leaving Fire God and War God to her. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Seeing Xiao Wu leap in, Xiaoju knew her intent. He waved and dispelled the 9 under oath, his face cold as he thought he needn't compete with a quarrelsome fool who annoys her father. Let her fight if she wants. He only needs to weaken Hera and Hades. Is less than is greater than. At the same time, sea god Poseidon swung his trident at the Garuda circling above. With a mountain roar and ocean wail, undercurrents like tides instantly formed dragon-like water jets, charging toward Garuda. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Its golden eyes narrowed with calculation. Wings beat hard, and thousands of razor sparks like knives struck the water jet boom. The impact shook the area. Heh heh heh. This fight must be spectacular. I must strive to be my master's top little disciple. The golden thread frenzied phoenix. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. The strike was blocked. The water jet shattered and rained down. Poseidon tightened his trident, glaring at the monstrous bird, and cursed. Dreadful. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Garuda was determined to be the male lead's #1 little disciple. His body dove like a cannonball, flying straight at where Poseidon stood. Relentless. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Under Garuda's powerful pressure, Poseidon's body was crushed and collapsed. He gritted his teeth, clutching his trident as he forced himself up. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. He couldn't lose like this. He summoned all his strength, swung the trident high, unleashing full power, leveraging weight and lightness as fierce winds and great waves rose. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. The sea roiled, as hundreds of giant water drakes began sweeping everywhere. He targeted Garuda as his trident glowed the order of the piercing sea. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. The giant water columns moved as if alive, encircling and shrinking to imprison Garuda, while strong winds tossed Garuda's flight path. Oh, when did this appear? Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Garuda used its own skill to dodge the columns, pushing through the wind. Sea beasts. Arise suddenly. All kinds of sea creatures burst from the columns, mouths dripping blood as they attacked. Garuda evaded, so that's how it is. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Seeing the plan succeed, Poseidon immediately summoned 500 comrades, sea beasts. Kill for me. Garuda narrowed its bird eyes as built-up fire erupted. Wings spread and a ring of scorching flame ignited. Come on then, cycle of karmic fire. Is less than is greater than. The sky seemed burnt away in a blaze. Smoke and flames billowing, the scent of roasted meat drifting. The sea creatures were incinerated and fell like seafood delivered to the door. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Counting in its head, Garuda gleefully used the chance to roast a few more. The smell of crispy grilled meat, drifting. It picked a clean spot, arranged them neatly, then cheerfully faced Jiang Chen, and flattered. Little brother is useless, but I'll make some snacks for big bro. Jiang Chen. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Jiang Chen only glanced, noting its effort, and commented with a laugh. Haha, you stupid bird. Don't you know drinking and seafood can cause gout? Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. At the same time, Machis and Yamata no Orochi faced two others. Orochi flicked its snake tongue, red eyes on Machis. Machis. I'll give Dionysus like God to you, and Cupid is mine. How about it? Machis eyed the two gods and replied, your choice is fine. Suit yourself. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Pleased. Yamata no Orochi drew closer to Cupid, curious, and asked, Deity Cupid, I have a question I've kept long. You've matched countless couples, but have you ever found a lover for yourself? Could you shoot yourself in the heart? Cupid smiled softly and raised her bow. Oh, is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Her laugh was clear as a stream, eyes wide on Orochi, lips curved as she replied, Brother Orochi, do you mean you like me? Although you're handsome, I value both looks and inner quality. Unsure about your heart, brother. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Hearing Cupid, Orochi was elated, unaware as an arrow flew from the bow. Orochi twisted its body, cheeks slightly red. Huff, no one has ever called me handsome before. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Before Machis could attack, seeing the scene, he roared a warning. Careful, the arrow instantaneously turned to fine powder. Machis taunted, Orochi, are you a lovesick fool? Why don't you pee then check the mirror? What handsome nonsense. The remark awakened the snake within Orochi. Bro, that's harsh. My heart hurts. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Machis shoved Yamata no Orochi aside, regardless of its pain. Orochi couldn't dodge. Huff. Machis snarled angrily. With that virtue, don't face Goddess Cupid. Swap places. I am chaste and resolute. Is less than. Is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Yamata no Orochi snorted, still basking in Cupid's praise, and told Machis, fine then, I'll fight Dionysus like God. If I win, you must apologize for what you said, and admit it in person. I'm at least fairly handsome. Machis glared at Orochi like an idiot and snarled, I spit. You ugly thing. Shut your nonsense up. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. The Dionysus-like god hovered on the rock, exuding a faint scent of red wine, holding a gleaming golden cup. Seeing Orochi, he grinned slyly, twirled the cup and laughed. Ha ha, snake, you're a great ingredient for medicinal wine. is less than is greater than hearing that. Orochi cursed. Bullshit, corrosive mist, taste death. Its mouth spewed out columns of white corrosive fog. Die. How dare you call me wine bait? Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than seeing the white mist approach. The Dionysus-like god smiled, flicked the golden cup, and wine in it splashed out, forming a red wine-like membrane that stopped the white mist, a whiskey shield. Is less than is greater than. Orochi stared in shock with red pupils at the shield. What kind of wine is that? It can even resist my corrosive mist. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than seeing Orochi's dumbfounded look. The Dionysus-like god laughed loudly, looking at Orochi and Sister 18, arrogantly said, "This is a superior vintage I've treasured for 10,000 years. Lucky you. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than." Sister 18 perked up at the mention of wine. "Oh, vintage wine." She smiled gently, holding her flask paused. 10,000-year fine wine? Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. She chuckled and guided the flask upward toward the shield. "I want a taste. Why wasn't something this good brought out sooner?" Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than before. The Dionysus-like god could react. The flask began siphoning wine from the shield. "What the hell?" he shouted. "What wine is this?" Orochi saw its chance and lunged. "Now's the time." Is less than is greater than. Its body coiled around the Dionysus-like god with a constricting spell. "Die. How dare you think of making me into wine?" Squeezing tight. The god's last sight was anguish as he let out a mournful scream. A. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than. Meanwhile, Zeus saw his soldiers fall one by one. Clutching chest pain, he grabbed a sharp object and tried to pull it out. No. Like this, I'll truly fall into a deep sleep here. Is less than is greater than seeing Zeus move. Jiang Chen instantly became alert. Oh, still struggling. Truly a fierce old man. Is less than is greater than. Is less than is greater than enduring the stabbing pain. Zeus summoned all his strength. Snap, he gripped the sharp object and pulled it free. A wave of oppressive power radiating from him as he roared. "Everyone stop holding back. Use body and legs. Burn life essence. Get through this first and then we'll talk." Is less than is greater than.